All right, this is the one everybody's been waiting for. This is winter rims and tires. I have finally got them put on, and I have finally got it all figured out. It feels like it was a 1,000 years worth of struggle. So the final rims and tires ended up being a 225 60 R18 Firestone Winter Force winter tire. We'll get you guys away from me here. So these rims are off a 2012 Camaro LS. So this is the absolute bare bones basic Camaro you could buy. Came with these steel rims. It also came with a beauty ring and a center cap. I just got the rims. We'll see about the rest. Perhaps I will see if I can't pick up something to make them look a little prettier. But saying that, these are a Camaro rim. So I thought the fitment issues would be on the front. I thought fitting it over top of the front caliper and the backside here would be the big problem. Turns out that was not the issue. According to the installers, the front one fit on no problem. It was actually the back one that they had issues with, and it was actually touching the caliper right here. Like there might be a 1/16 of an inch of clearance on that caliper. It's pretty incredible how tight it actually is, and they actually had to use a spacer to bring it out some because it was touching. So they are installed, they work good. I did cheap out. There is no pressure sensors, it's just a normal stem. It gives me the warning on the dash, but whatever, I don't really care. For the $250 to see a warning light for the winter, I didn't really care about. I'm more concerned about my summers. These are just to get me through the snow. So my driveway here is pretty icy, as you can tell, the whole thing. And these tires are pretty great so far. My summer tires, which I had on earlier today, I was doing some drifting in the driveway to make it to my parking spot here, and it was kind of sketchy. And these, I mean, as soon as they start to slip, they grab as well. I originally thought I was going to get alloy rims and that, but the Steelies are quite fine with me. I actually like them. I think they make it look kind of Mad Maxy, badass. Keeps it looking pretty cool. The clearance here is pretty well the same as it was with the summer tires, front and back. I did the 3-finger thing like I did in my trunk weight video, as well as I have my 180 pounds of trunk weight in here, and they had no issues installing them. I get a little bit concerned when other people are working on the car because the mounting points for the jack is buried up underneath the rocker panel. The rocker panel actually comes down about like 2.5 inches, and it's buried. Like there's a little notch in the rocker panel you got to fit up in, but they got it done, no problem. Didn't damage my car, which was a huge concern to me. Actually, I was a little bit terrified. I seen on the forum that a GM dealer messed up a guy's car when he did it, and I was just like, oh my god, they cannot ruin my car over winter tires. It is not going to happen. But they did not. It's just absolutely perfect, and it drives great. I'm not loving seeing the spindle here and all that. I just think it should be a little bit meaner, leaner, cleaner. But I'm going to go online and see what kind of cheap fixes I can come up with. See if I can't, for $5 or $10 a wheel, come up with a nice center cap that says Chevy or just whatever, just to make it look a little bit cooler. So I spent $300 cash on the rims. No taxes on that, of course. And then $700 on the tires. That was installed, balanced, and everything else. If the tire pressure sensors really piss me off, I can get them added for $250. But you know what? So far, I don't really care. It just pops in and it says service tire pressure sensors. So that is it. The tires are on. They work good. They look pretty decent. Car's as badass as ever. And I couldn't be happier. I am actually excited about the snow. Unfortunately, we're going to be a week and a bit before we see any because it's going to be really, really warm and there's going to be tons of rain. But we are supposed to get freezing rain just after Christmas, which could be icy, dicey, pretty awful to say the least. And hopefully these things here should just come through and just kill it. Pretty excited. I have had these tires before. They were on my SUV. And I mean, they never let me down. They were really good. But this car, being it has the felt-lined wheel wells in here, there's no actual like metal wheel well or anything in there, it is much quieter. The car is quieter, aside from the tires, because that's a big thing these days. The new cars, I mean, they're worth more money, but they're putting a lot more into them, like the felt inside the wheel wells there. There's a ton across the bottom, I noticed as well when I was underneath there. And having had these on a 2006, which is a 2-generation old vehicle for GM, and then having it on their latest, greatest, huge difference in vehicle. From vehicle to vehicle, we're talking one winter season to the next, we're talking the same tires, huge difference, absolutely huge difference. Much, much quieter. These are almost the exact same as my summers. Just a few speeds, like 95 kilometers an hour. You hear it howl just a little bit. It's like you've just hit the weird frequency that the tire's not loving, and then once you get past that, it kind of smoothens out and there's not an issue. I'm sure if I had have gone for some Pirelli Soto Zeros, Michelin X-Ice 3s, anything like that, they're probably quieter. They probably don't have those issues. I used the Bridgestone Blizzaks and the girlfriend's Buick, and it was whisper quiet. It was unbelievably quiet. But these will do me. I'm very pleased and I'm very excited about the snow. So bring it on. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And let's get to a drive review. Alright, so it is literally just a sheet of ice. When you have a bumped hip, if you slip and fall on your hip, you're out for weeks. So let's get on the road. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Still fighting a cold, of course. No, that thing didn't miraculously disappear. But the snow did. It's been, it's 3 degrees out right now. It's like 37 Fahrenheit. And it's supposed to be 10 on Monday. And then warm all week. Which is good, because I can get stuff done on the car. But, I don't know. Now that I got snow tires, it seems kind of counterproductive. However, I did get to kind of stress test a little bit last night, and I'll share that with you. But first, I want to share kind of, I don't know, I guess a weird ultimatum thing I play in my brain. So I like sharing the cold starts with you guys. Like, to me, in videos, it doesn't matter the car or the model or the make. If it's a good sounding exhaust, I want to hear it start up. I want to hear it roar to life. So I try to share that with you. But then I get into a cold car and I'm like, yeah, you do it for them. You do it for them. Anyway, so last night it was freezing rain. Like intense freezing rain. It was icy, slippery, a little bit crazy. Shouldn't have been out on the roads. But I was running a few last minute errands for Christmas. And I was. And everybody was doing, half the speed limit and just driving so slow. With these tires on, I had no noticeable difference in driving conditions. It was just solid, well planted. And I think something I found interesting, that's probably the only word I have for it, is when you put mag ride on normal vehicles. To me, the Camaro is just a normal vehicle. It's a 4-door sedan chassis. It's just an engine and all this. Like, it's nothing really that special. It's just a normal car. But then you take GM's high-end premium components like magnetic ride suspension and you put it in there. And this happened in the Escalade as well. And you get out in bad weather conditions, and the way the vehicle reacts to the road is totally different than what you would anticipate. I drove an SUV before this. It was 4-wheel drive, and when it was slippery and icy out, even with snow tires on, I drove with it in 4-wheel. I did not leave it in auto, and I did not put it in too high. I found when you got some snow on the roads or ice, it felt floaty, like you were kind of just above it. And then when you put it in four-wheel drive, it just kind of seemed to buffer a lot and take it out and keep you feeling more confident that you were going straight. And I know that's four-wheel drive, that's what it does. But this car is not. And when I bought this car, knowing it would be a winter car, I just had this like notion in the back of my mind that it's going to be floaty and it's going to do these different things that I'm not necessarily going to like. And I'm going to have to really, you know, observe it and learn the car, because I am no expert driver. I have not put a lot of miles on the road. I do not have tons of experience. Like, there's a lot of things I have never done. See, this is all the ice on the road here. So I don't pretend to just be this, you know, uber expert, like, oh, there's an inch of snow, I'm just totally good. And when I got caught in that snowstorm, I felt like a total moron, because I just made a really bad call, and that's just part of it. I overestimated what those tires could do. I underestimated the weather, and between the two of them, I got stuck somewhere else. And with this car, with the magnetic ride, and the balance, the side-to-side, the end-to-end balance, and just how this car handles in the summer is a direct representation of how it handles in the winter. Rather than be like the 70s muscle cars that everybody adores, this is not that car. This is such a well-balanced, refined machine that when you take it and put it in out of its element is summer, warm summer tires, fat rubber, you know, heat them up, the tires stick for days. Oh, this is gonna be fun. This is where the good roads end and the bad roads start up. So once it's out of its element and it's in stuff like this in cold weather, it's still so far above what it needs to be that, see, put the brakes on, she just slows down, no slip, no slide, corners, ooh, like butter. And it takes a great car and it keeps it a great car. I was driving this cold weather in my snow and ice mode and doing all this and the other. I mean, I was driving around last night on the highway doing 115 kilometers an hour in freezing rain in sport mode. Like, the car is that good that it handles and it dances through everything. It's so poised that it is not like driving other rear-wheel drive vehicles. And that's how I felt in the new Escalade, because my dad picked me up and he does have the new 2016 Escalade. It is the premium trim line and it has the magnetic ride. Now, he was not a fan of the magnetic ride from the CTS-V, and he found it just way too stiff. It did not dampen the bumps well. It was just stiff. I mean, it took corners great and it did all kinds of really nice things, but it was stiff. Whereas his new one and mine are not like that at all. It's actually completely different. It's like having 5 different suspension systems underneath the car, all doing their thing. And the Escalade was the same way. When you were going through 4 or 5 inches of snow, it was completely poised, like there was nothing on the road, which was incredible. Like, it was absolutely incredible. So it made me very, very happy to see that, like, I'm not going to have the same problems I had in my Envoy, and it's not going to be the same driver experience as the Envoy, going from one rear-wheel drive vehicle to another. Now, the Envoy, you don't like it, you click it over, you don't have it. But this car, till death do me part, or I buy something else, this is my baby. This is my car. I have to make the right calls that I'm going to get out and get home. It's going to be another 3 months of winter, and they're calling for a lot of snow. This is an unusually large amount for us for Christmas. We don't usually get white Christmases. Even in Canada, I know. Crazy. So, it's been a really interesting learning experience. And I'm enjoying the hell out of it. And I'm just very, very relieved I got these tires put on. I know I've been talking about it for almost 2 months now. And saying, oh yeah, at some point and blah, 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 blah. And the problem is talk is cheap. And I did a little bit of that and a little bit of it became a money game. That everybody wanted to charge me a fortune. You own a sports car, you own, it's high performance. And it's like, yeah, but it's not. It's a touring car. See, it's in touring. And I'm on a public road where you don't race. Like, do the math. I'm not at a racetrack. You don't take Goodyear Eagle F1s to a racetrack anyways. You get properly set up Michelin Sport Cup 2 race tires or Pirellis or like something designed for the track. You take your stock tires, you're going to get stock performance. You want to actually go to the racetrack and kill it, you set your car up for it. Like that to me is just like the ABCs of driving cars. And $4,000 was not a price I was willing to part with for a set of tire and rim for this vehicle. Not these tires and rims anyways. I would have done, like, if I was to spend $4,000 on a set of tires and rims, they would probably be the MRR 228s. I'd probably try to bump it to like a 305 or something in the rear. I seen a 335 at the tire shop when I was down there. Oh man, that was a whole lot of rubber. It made a 275 look like a donut. Like a spare tire for a Civic. It was incredible. I don't know if I'd go that wide. I don't know. So the good news is it has all worked out in the end, and the car is back to every bit of glory it ever had, and it drives and handles like an absolute $1,000,000. Here is Burlington, Ontario. Check it out, guys. Burlington, for the record, and just to throw some tidbits out there, because I know some of my viewers are from Burlington. Burlington is a really nice place. I really like it. I've seen some absolutely crazy cars. I've seen a number of these new Camaros. They have really nice parks and downtown and culture, and it's just a really cool place to be. And then you get just north and you get windy, hilly, escarpment like settings like this, which for us is like the best. We don't have mountains or any of that fantasticness. So rather than complain about it, we take what we can get and we move on. So this will be my last video before Christmas. I am hoping everybody has a great holiday season and gets, what they want for Christmas. We've all worked hard this year. If you've got a Camaro, I hope you get your Camaro parts. If you don't have a Camaro and you want one, I hope you get one. I seen Lethal Camaro hinting that there may have been a few lined up at his Chevy dealer that were going home for Christmas. That's pretty fantastic, guys. I have witnessed vehicles being gifted on special occasions, and it's a pretty intense experience. So it's cool to see. Anyways, smash that like button, help this video get shared. Let's fight YouTube. Let's show them that we don't care. We're gonna keep growing and keep prospering on. Till next time, take care, guys.